Hello crafters, welcome to my second video this week in my design team week. Today's video is a design team video for Maymay stamps. How many times am I going to say design team? Have you ever thought of using your stamp sets to create wearable jewellery? If not, well, I'm going to show you how. Here are some examples. These are some earrings I made. Hoping that they translate well on camera. So they are fully workable earrings. Here is a brooch I made. It's the brooch piece on the back. And here is a pendant that I made. It's got like a pearlescent look to it. The stamp sets I used to create these pieces of jewellery, I used the cross from Be Still. The hearts are from In the Mail. And obviously the B is from Bee's Knees. So I'm going to create one for you, and then hopefully you can recreate them and share them on G's Creations is now my creations, and also on maymaymadeit.com, both of which I will link below. They are Facebook groups, so come over and join us. We'd love to have you. You'll need some fairly thick white cardstock for this. I'm going to use this cardstock here, and I will tell you the GSM weight. It is 300 GSM. So it's nice and thick, sturdy cardstock. I'm going to do two pendants with you. I'm going to be using the flowers from the Sorry stamp set and the flowers from Floral Kaleidoscope. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Floral Kaleidoscope. I'm also going to be using my 2-inch punch, but obviously if you've got dies that are more appropriate to the size, or other sized punches, then use those. Right, I'm just going to put this to one side. I'm going to be needing some Mod Podge, and I'm going to use some glossy accents or other branded crystal lacquer, kind of liquid glass, that kind of thing, because that's what gives it the wearability. Obviously I wouldn't recommend that you wear these when it's pouring down with rain, or swimming, or on the beach, on the when you're swimming, that type of thing. But these are just nice kind of piece of jewelry to wear for one season, that type of thing. So, you could change these up year round. So I'm going to use Memento ink because I may do some colouring, or I may just do these black and white, but the Memento ink won't bleed. Where if I was to use the VersaVine, for example, and then put liquid over the top, it will probably smudge and bleed. So I'm going to put the gorgeous kaleidoscope, and I think I may do a couple and then do it so it's like that. I love how this looks. It reminds me of the kaleidoscopes I had as a child, and the remember that game where you put your pencil in and you can make all those funny designs? I love it. A great stamp set from Maymay made it, as always. Maymay has definitely got the eye when it comes to stamp sets, that's for sure. I mean, you're all testimony to that. Okay, and I'm going to use the flowers from the Sorry stamp set. Right, I'm going to pop you on there, and again using the Memento. Right, I'm going to pop you up there so I don't waste too much paper. Wait for it to transfer. There we go. Clean off my stamp. Make sure this is dry. Okay, I'm going to pop these out now using my 2-inch circle punch. 1, 2, and I also need to cut out or punch out about 2 pieces to go on the reverse, just to give it some strength and some stability. Try and get as much out of this piece of card as I can. Okay, I'll pop that to one side. Right, I am now going to with my Mod Podge, I'm going to paint these circles here that I've just cut out, because I'm basically going to sandwich them. Sometimes I find it easier to pick them up. I'm going to sandwich them together. If you weren't going to use the hole punch, the paper punch, what I did with these is I stamped out multiple images and then cut them out, and because you're stamping the same image, you're going to get the same shape. That's what I did with those ones, but this one, doing it this way is a lot easier. I think I might do 4 or 3. I haven't decided yet. Okay, I need to cut out some more circles. Okay, so I've Mod Podged those all together, and I'm even going to put some Mod Podge around the outside, because I want this to be nicely sealed. Okay, let me just punch out a few more holes, and I'll be right back. Make sure you take your time when doing this, because sometimes they can separate, so make sure you've got a nice sealed triple layer, because you don't want any kind of water or anything like that to get into it, so make sure that they're nice and sealed. I hate glue, it's so sticky. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Okay, I'm going to leave those to one side to dry. Now I think I might add a bit of the my liquid pearls to this one here. I think I might add some of the liquid pearl to the center, and maybe going out a bit as well, just to give it a bit of interest, because I love how the pearl shows out on the cross here. So I'm going to give that a whiz and see how that looks. I'm just going to drag it out. Very simple. So it looks like that. I could do some on here as well. Just put some tiny little dots on each of the dandelion flower heads. Oh, it's clogged. I always keep I keep my pin from the art glitter glue in a straw, not in a straw, in a rubber, which is an eraser, when I'm not using it. And I also keep a needle in there as well, because it's handy for when things get clogged. So I need to let them fully dry before I cover them with the glossy accents. So I'm going to let them dry fully, and then we'll come back together. So just to zoom in to show you what they look like. So I'm going to let those dry, and then we'll be straight back with you. Okay, crafters, it's set enough for me to now use the glossy accents. So I am literally just going to fill this entire disc with a really good helping of glossy accents, or any of the other kind of liquid glass or whatever you want to call these things that are on the market. As you can see, I'm just literally filling it all, giving it a nice even coat, as even as I can get it. Once I put this down onto a flat surface, it should even out somewhat. Right, so put that down. and then do this one as well. And the next stage will be to let this dry. So I will have to let this dry for at least an hour or so, and then come back and continue with the next part of the video. If you haven't seen, if you've missed some of my previous design team videos for Maymay Made It, I will link a playlist of those videos in the top corner, so it should pop out as I'm pointing to it now. So it should pop out as are my fingers there, and then you just click onto those and it goes to the playlist. Right, so I am going to let those dry. I'm going to zoom you in again so you can get a good look. As they dry, they'll flatten out, and if they don't, I'll put something of some weight on top of them. So I'm going to let them dry fully now, and then we'll be on to the next stage, and that's when you'll next see me. Okay crafters, I want to show you something. On this one here, I used the Memento ink. Now it went a bit funny, as you can see. It's that the colour started to bleed. I hope that shows up well on camera. But then I thought to myself, I'm sure I used Memento when I created the other items, and I don't think I did. I think I used StazOn. So please use StazOn. So those ones didn't work, so I done another two using StazOn, and as you can see, there's no bleeding. So I think it's the ink, even though the Memento says it says on the back of it, quickly dries on most papers. When dry, stamped impressions are water resistant, but obviously not when it comes to the glossy accents. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my trusted art glitter glue, and on the bases that we created earlier, I'm going to put a nice glob of art glitter glue. And I'm going to place our pendant on the top. These aren't 100% dry, so I'm going to place these onto our bases, making sure that I get as close to the edge as possible. And using my crocodile, I'm going to put a hole in these to make them into pendants. It's going to take a while for that to put some weight on it. Just to make sure that all your edges are secure. So using my crocodile, I'm going to put a hole in this pendant, and I'm going to use some of these bales I have in my stash, pop that through there, and there we have a pendant ready to wear. Now I like the pearlized effect that this gives. Oh, what's that on my bale? Come off. So pop that back. I'm going to do the same thing. I love the way this one turned out with the little dots. I'm going to have this one at a slight angle, I think. Now you can, if you want, you can put a bit more of the glossy accents around the hole, just to, you know, keep it neat and watertight. And there we have two pendants that are made using some stamp sets. So I'm going to bring back the other items as well. So we have the brooch, and this one I sprinkled a bit of iridescent glitter while the crystal lacquer was drying. And the same thing with the earrings. And it doesn't come off. Once it's locked in, it's locked in. But the earrings are really cute. And then we have the cross, and these are all done in the same way. As I said, if you're going to, instead of doing just a round shape, if you're going to you know, do a cross or the hearts or even the flowers are going to be harder to cut, so I would recommend doing the disc. But if you're going to do something like this, stamp multiples and then just sandwich them together. And as you can see, I've done the back as well on this one, so the back is also done, but the back doesn't have the pearl effect. Now if you wanted to, you could very easily stamp the back of these with one of the sentiments from the stamp set. Something about friendship you could put on there from the floral kaleidoscope. You got, I don't pick favourites, but yes I do, it's you. That would look lovely on the back. And you, of course you could put glossy accents on the back of that as well, over the top. So here are two very simple yet very eye-catching ways to use your stamp sets. I hope you find this enjoyable today. I hope you recreate this. If you do recreate this project, please share on my group. G's Creations is now my creation, and also on Maymay made it and so did I. And those are both groups on Facebook. There'll be links below. Thank you very much for joining me. I will link the previous DT projects that I've done for Maymay in the top corner here. And I will see you again very soon. Take care now.